Hello, and welcome to this lesson of active transport theory. By the time you finish this video, you should be able to define active transport and explain why it requires energy. Describe how protein carrier molecules move particles against a concentration gradient. Apply active transport to examples in animals and plants. Active transport is the movement of particles from an area of lower concentration to an area of higher concentration across a cell membrane. This process requires energy from respiration because particles are being moved against their concentration gradient. Because this movement is not natural, the cell uses energy from ATP. ATP is broken down to release energy. A carrier protein in the membrane uses this energy to change shape and push the particles across. The membrane itself is shown as a lipid bilayer, which controls what enters and leaves the cell. This diagram shows how substances move across a cell membrane. On the left, diffusion is happening. Particles move from an area of high concentration to low concentration, spreading out naturally. In the middle, facilitated diffusion also moves particles from high to low concentration, but through protein channels in the membrane. On the right, active transport is shown. Here, particles are moved from low concentration to high concentration against the gradient. This process uses carrier proteins and requires energy from ATP. So while diffusion and facilitated diffusion are passive, active transport needs energy to push particles in the opposite direction. Moving on to active transport in animals. Here we can see how active transport works in animals, specifically with glucose. On the left, in the small intestine, glucose is absorbed from food into the blood. Even when there is less glucose in the intestine than in the blood, it is still moved across the cell membrane. This happens by active transport, using energy to push glucose into the bloodstream. On the right, in the kidneys, glucose is reabsorbed from the filtrate back into the blood. This is called selective reabsorption. Again, active transport is used to move glucose against its concentration gradient. The key idea is that active transport ensures important substances like glucose are not lost, helping the body retain essential nutrients. While in plants, active transport works in plant root hair cells. In the soil, mineral ions like nitrates and magnesium are in low concentration. Inside the root hair cell, their concentration is higher. Because the movement is from low to high concentration, the plant uses active transport. Energy from ATP is used to move these ions into the root hair cell. At the same time, water and mineral ions are absorbed from the soil into the plant. Let's have a quick recap of what is diffusion. At the start, particles are crowded on the left side, which is a high concentration. On the right side, there are fewer particles, so it is a low concentration. As time passes, the particles begin to spread out. They move from the high concentration area to the low concentration area. Eventually, the particles become more evenly distributed across the space. This process is called diffusion, and it happens naturally without needing any energy. Now, let's talk about active transport with diffusion. Here you can see the cell membrane in the middle, with a carrier protein embedded in it. The particles are being moved from a low concentration to a high concentration. This is the opposite of diffusion, where particles move from high to low concentration. Because the movement is against the concentration gradient, the cell uses energy from ATP. The ATP is broken down into ADP, releasing energy to power the carrier protein. The carrier protein acts like a pump, pushing particles across the membrane. So the key idea is, active transport requires energy and moves substances against the gradient, unlike diffusion, which happens naturally without energy. Let's dive into some exam-style practice questions. You can pause the video and try it yourself. For question 1, how does active transport enable glucose absorption when blood glucose concentration is higher than in the lumen? This image shows the small intestine villi, which are specialized structures for absorption. The glucose particles are shown moving from the inside of the intestine, where they may be in lower concentration, into the blood where the concentration is higher. The arrows indicate movement against the concentration gradient. Carrier proteins in the cell membrane help transport glucose across, and energy is required for this process. So the answer is, active transport uses energy from respiration to move glucose from the intestine into the blood against the concentration gradient via carrier proteins. For question 2, why is active transport important in kidney glucose reabsorption? This image shows the kidney tubule, where filtration and reabsorption take place. Glucose is first filtered out of the blood and enters the kidney tubule. The arrows show glucose being moved from the tubule back into the blood. This movement is against the concentration gradient, so it requires energy. Carrier proteins in the tubule cells help transport the glucose back into the bloodstream. This process is called selective reabsorption, and it ensures useful substances are not lost. So the answer is, active transport uses energy from respiration to move glucose from the kidney tubule back into the blood against the concentration gradient, preventing glucose from being lost in urine. For question 3, how do root hair cells absorb magnesium ions from low concentration soil? This image shows a root hair cell surrounded by soil with a low concentration of mineral ions. Inside the root hair cell, the concentration of magnesium ions is higher. The arrows show magnesium ions moving from the soil into the root hair cell against the concentration gradient. ATP is used to provide energy for this process. Carrier proteins in the cell membrane help transport the ions into the cell. This allows the plant to absorb essential minerals even when they are scarce in the soil. So the answer is, magnesium ions are actively transported from the lower concentration in the soil into the higher concentration inside the root hair cell against the concentration gradient, using energy from respiration and carrier proteins in the membrane.